How would you feel if your boss was planning to move into the office? Well, here on The Brief from Brussels, we're taking a look at one boss who's planning to do just that. The incoming president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Number 10 Downing Street. The White House. The Kremlin in Moscow. France's Élysée Palace. Iconic residences for their world leaders. The European Union Commission's Berlaymont building, perhaps not so much. Brussels is having to defend the decision of its incoming new president Ursula von der Leyen. She's ordered a living quarters to be created next to her office.
I don't think it's ever been considered the need for a residence to be created for the president. As a commission, we just grew and made decisions as they came.
They also insist the plan for her to move in will save money and commuting time.
There are many arguments in favor of the new president being able to stay here overnight, namely security.
But a fundamental principle of the European Union is to protect workers' rights. And European workers' groups are worried about the example Ursula von der Leyen is setting.
You shouldn't have to be at your office morning, noon and night. You shouldn't have to answer your phone morning, noon and night. So it's very worrying, the message that she's sending out about being constantly present. She has such a great example as a woman, as a mother, having a really good career. But you shouldn't have to live at work to be successful in your career.
Ursula von der Leyen is set to make the Berlaymont her home for 5 days a week when her mandate begins. But that mandate, which was meant to start on November the 1st, is delayed. The French, Hungarian and Romanian commissioners all being voted down in the European Parliament. So Ursula von der Leyen will have to wait before she can move into the Berlaymont. Jack Parrott, Euronews, Brussels. The European Parliament is demanding better bee protection, opposing a move by member states and the EU Commission to weaken pesticide protocols. Lawmakers raised objections around the long-term risks pesticides may pose. They argue the latest EU proposals don't fully consider the impact of agri-chemicals. Poland will be among the countries most affected by Brexit. It could lose 35,000 jobs and at least 0.14% of its GDP. That's according to a government study quoted by Euractiv. The agri-food industry is set to lose the most. It constitutes around 20% of all exports from Poland to the UK.